Hello, smart mathematicians. Let's do question 1.1.3 of Algebra Part 1. So we're solving for x here. This is an inequality. There's a very small difference between an inequality and an equation. The way we solve quadratic inequalities is just the same way we solve the quadratic equations, but the difference is going to be in our solution. From the first step up to the critical values, it's just the same way we calculate equations, and then at the end, when we're writing our solutions, that's where the difference is. So when you're solving a quadratic inequality, make sure that it is in standard form. In standard form, I mean that it should be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c less than or greater than, or whichever inequality sign like this. So you see that's the standard form. So now let's write this in standard form. Transpose 3x comes to the left hand side, becomes 2x squared minus 3x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Now this equation is in standard form. We get our mark for that. Now the next step is to factorize. Remember, we factorize differently. We can factorize differently, remember. So what I usually do is say 2x squared times negative 2, we get negative 4x squared. And then the factors of negative 4 that will give us negative 3 will be negative 4x and positive 1x. You see that? Okay, so we replace negative 3 with those two. Then we get 2x squared minus 4x plus 1x minus 2 less than or equal to 0. And then we factorize by grouping in pairs. This is the first pair, then second pair. Let's factorize the first pair. Highest common factor there is 2x, and then becomes x minus 2 inside the bracket. We want the second bracket to be the same as the first one, so we factor out positive 1 here, then becomes x minus 2 less than 0. Then meaning that we factor out x minus 2, this bracket, and then we remain with 2x plus 1 in the other bracket. Okay, you see that? And then from this stage, we get our critical values. We don't get the solutions. We get the critical values, right? And then, so it means the critical values, right? It means x minus 2 is equal to 0, or 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. So it means x is equal to 2, or x is equal to negative 1 over 2. So these are critical values. So what is the solution? Okay. This function is equal to 0 where at negative half and at 2. See that? Remember, it's a quadratic function, so it's parabolic. It's parabolic. Okay, so you can use the parabola or use the other method. I'll show you the other one of substituting. So now, where is the graph greater than? Greater than means above. This is the x-axis, meaning that above the x-axis. Where is the graph above the x-axis? You can check here from 2 going to the right, the graph is above the x-axis, and then from negative half going to the left, the graph is above the x-axis. When I'm talking about the graph, I'm talking about this part. Okay, let me highlight it using this. This is the part which is above the x-axis. You see that? Greater than or equals to. But these critical values are included because it says greater than or equal to. The other thing you can do, we have our inequality 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Right, we want to see, pick any value that is between negative half and 2. Let's pick 0. 0 will be the simplest one. So if you put 0 here, what do you get? 2, 0 squared minus 3, 0 minus 2. We're getting negative 2. Do you see that? So this means any value between negative half and 2 will give you a negative what? A negative value. Right, let's pick any value which is less than negative half. Let's pick negative 1. So 2, negative 1 squared minus 3, negative 1 minus 2. Right, this is 2 plus 3, which is 5. 5 minus 2, which is 3. So you see that it's positive. So from negative half going to the left is greater than 0. It's greater than 0. So that's what we want here. And then let's pick any value that is greater than 2 this side. Let's pick 3. See that? So 2 times 3 squared minus 3 times 3 minus 2. This is 9 times 2, 18. 18 minus 9, 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. See that is also positive. So it means, where is this function greater than or equal to 0? When x is, okay, this one there's no need to do this, I'm just showing you. So our solution, when x is negative half or less. So when x is less than or equal to negative 1 over 2, or when x is 2 or more. So when x is greater than or equal to 2. So this is the solution. This is the solution. So you get a marks for those solutions, for factors there, right? And then for your critical values, okay? Right, so that's what you're supposed to do there. We're going to meet when we do question 114.